What's up, everybody? It is Thegoal60 here for Monday, July the 30th, 2018. So, just like I talked about yesterday, there's no real good way to sugarcoat this or try to hide from it. It was a bad weekend as far as the beta test went. We've made adjustments to it, and that's why we call it a beta test. This was completely something new, and when we put it out live, it didn't have nowhere near the results that it did when we had on paper. So we knew that going in. We've made adjustments now, and we'll see if that helps as the beta keeps going. As far as the RPI and revenge system, we didn't have any official plays, but we did have a handful of unofficial plays, and every single one of them did cash. So good news there, and we'll get into all that after the intro as well. Real quick, first off, I'll recap the RPI and revenge unofficial plays, and there was two yesterday for the RPI system, and the first one was the Cubs at minus 128. They did get the win 5-2 over the Cardinals late last night, and that game was delayed, and it was actually one of the ones we needed to come through on the over-under system. Didn't reach for us there, but we did get the unofficial win minus 128. The other was the Oakland A's on the run line, and they did cover. They lost 3-2, but that held them within 1.5 runs, therefore they covered that line. So all the unofficials worked out there. As far as the beta test we had on the over-under system, like I said, it didn't go near as well as what we had hoped. We've made adjustments. As far as the plays this weekend, there were seven total series. They did go 4-3, but with a chase, 4-3 is not good at all. So we had hoped for at least a 6-1 or 7-0, obviously. We've made some adjustments, and I'll get into those as this video goes on. But, like I said, the beta test does continue. Alright, so starting off today, there's a couple 4-game series. There's only a handful of 3-game series, 4 to be exact. So there's a ton of 2-game series the first half of this week. Now, as far as all these, we did make one adjustment to that, or a couple actually. One is that we're going to look at overs on totals of above 10 or above, so double-digit totals. We're not going to be taking any overs there. We would take it if it shows it's going to be an under, which most of the time, if it's that high of a total, you're not going to get very many indications that you're going under. But either way, that does eliminate that one. And also on the bottom end, the I believe 7.5 is what we talked about last night. We're going to be looking at anything under 7.5 or below, not to take the under. So that's just a couple adjustments. Also, all the 4-game series that we paid attention to this weekend, I didn't give those out on Friday. I was trying to keep everything uniform with 3-game series. All the 4-game series did cash. So I will be adding the 4-game series in there with it, just as information right now. Like I said, this is ever changing. This is obviously we need to make some adjustments, and we've started doing that now. So hopefully these will help out. And if they show to be really good improvement, then we'll see what else adjustments we have to make, and so on and so on. It's just like all the other two systems that I have. It's a ever changing, adapt and for the better. So with that said, let's jump into the 4-game series. I'm going to talk about the RPI and revenge, and I'll also give you the data for the over-under system, and of course everything. The only thing that will be official is if it's an RPI or a revenge play right now. Until we get some of this ironed out and heading the right direction, I'm not going to make those official. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so the first 4-game series we got is Colorado at St. Louis. Right now the Rockies are at .517, while the Cardinals are at .503. Therefore you'd look at Colorado. They are the dog here, not by much, but they are the underdog, and therefore you look at the run line, it's minus 176. This is a 4-game series with a line of minus 176, so it's not an unofficial or official. It's completely off the board. Now, as far as their total, Colorado comes in at 0.1, while St. Louis is at 0.3. So you combine those, and it's 0.4, obviously, with the math. You look at the under, it's 8.5, and the under is heavily shaded here. It's minus 138. So this was minus 110 last night, and obviously there's been some money come in on the under, which is the direction that we would go if we're following that. So just keep that in mind. Just want to get that information out there to you, just like I'm going to do on all these series. Next up, we have Milwaukee at the Dodgers. Milwaukee's at .513. The Dodgers are at .519 on the RPI scale, and therefore the Dodgers would be a look at here, and they are minus 158. So if this was a 3-game series, this would be official. It is unofficial simply because of it being a 4-game series. As far as the total, the Brewers are at negative .3. The Dodgers are at .7. Put those together, you get .4, and the total is 7.5. And we would look at the under, but like I said, the new parameter is not to take an under of 7.5 or below, so therefore it would not qualify. That is all the 4-game series. So we only got one unofficial play there, and it is on the Dodgers heads up at minus 158. Now I'll go through all the 3-game series. Like I said, there's only 4 series starting up today, so it's not that not that many to look at. There was one potential revenge play, and that was with the Blue Jays at .492 against the A's at .518. Obviously, the Blue Jays are not within 15 points or any above, and so therefore that was completely canceled out. As far as their total, the Blue Jays are at .8, while the A's are at .3. That's a 1.1, so you would look at the over 8.5, and it is minus 113. So we're going to keep a watch on that one just to kind of see how it plays out. Next, after that, we do have 2 official plays. And the first one is with the Cleveland Indians at .499 against the Twins at .477. So you'd also look at the Indians here, and at minus 131, they are the play. Now, I looked at the probable pitchers, and it's kind of a back and forth. I'm not really sure what the lines are going to be. I don't think that they're going to be that high, and that's why I went ahead and pulled the trigger. But either way, we're going to go ahead and go with it with the vlog. The first official play is the Indians at minus 131. They're over under. The Indians are at .9, while the Twins are at .4. That's 1.3. You would look at over 9.5. And even though that is a really high number, they are plus money, plus 110. So that would be the play there. Next up is the next official play, and it is the Astros at .531. They are in the top 3 of the RPI. Against Seattle, who is at .523. The Astros are just like the Indians. They're, as far as pitching, I don't think it's going to be too bad. Seattle is a good team, so I'm hoping that keeps the price down. But minus 116 is the play there, and that is an official play with the Astros. Over-under, both of these teams are at .1, so .2 as a total, and the over-under is 7. And like I said before, that's too low to take the under, so that eliminates it. And last, we have an unofficial play with Atlanta at .511 against Miami, who's .487. Atlanta's at minus 165, and the price is the only reason that is unofficial. As far as totals, Miami, is .7. Atlanta's at .5, so that's 1.2. You look at the over, it is over 9, and it is the better price at minus 105. So, like I said, all those totals, we're just watching those, okay? That is what it would be if we took them. Let's watch them. Let's see what happens. Let's see if these new parameters help. We got 2 official plays with Cleveland and Houston, and 2 unofficial plays with Atlanta and the Dodgers. That's all for today. Hope you have a great Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.
60% of the time, it works every time.